All right, guys, so hopefully this works better. I'm gonna make sure I don't see any dropped frames. I just turned off a VPN that I have on. Let me look at how Tesla's doing quick. Hold on, guys. Wow, Tesla back up to 342. That's crazy. Let me just check how good my sold puts are doing right now. Should be doing really nicely. Up 64%. I like that. All right. So again, guys, if you look at the daily chart on NQ, we just took out two sets of significant sell side liquidity. I think both of them were on the 4 hour. Yeah, and we're trading into this 4 hour fair value gap right here. Right, so we have a secondary 4 hour gap right here. So if I label that, let me label it in green. It actually pairs up almost perfectly with the low of the daily. So I think it's a little bit lower than the daily, if I'm not mistaken, but somewhat close. So what would be really optimal would be a trade below this low, turtle soup, and then a move higher to take out all these equal highs. And then once we make the turtle soup and potentially get a break of structure, I'll draw the 50% Fibonacci's from this low to this high, and then this, or from this high to this low, and then this high to this low. And then we'll try and target those. They come almost perfectly with these equal highs, so wouldn't be surprised if we get here after we get this rebalance. Again, we don't have to go all the way back down here, but I would ideally like to see this low get swept, stop out longs, and then get the long from there. The other spot where we could get the long from, there's another 4 hour fair value gap right here that we could potentially get to. Do I even have a label for 4 hour? We do. So this fair value gap right here is where we could potentially get longs from. By the way, guys, I said this before, but this is a TradeAway account. I just got a new eval that I'm going to be working with. I do have my funded accounts on the other side of this trade, on the other side of the screen, but I will be running up this TradeAway account with you guys through my funded futures. If you guys want to track this, I don't know if you can really see the numbers there, but if you can, I'm expecting to run this up to the 53K, and you guys can see it every day that I'm trading it. So yeah, I don't see much just yet as far as trades are concerned. Again, when you trade, you guys want to obviously have some kind of a liquidity zone that you're looking to target, and then looking for a reversal. So for me, yesterday in the Discord, I called that I wanted to see this daily fair value gap get rebalanced. Now we did get an immediate bullish reaction before the rebalance, which was understandable, and I'm fine with that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get pushes from here, but I'd rather see this liquidity get swept first, fully balance the daily, and then see the reversal. Does that make sense? But yeah, so I'm going to draw these equal highs a little bit further out in time so people can see them. Then these equal highs as well, though they're not as important. Like I explained, these are more obvious sets of equal highs. These are like kind of little ones. But still, they do have value. But yeah, so we'll see how that plays out. I'm going to get rid of this sell side here. And I'm going to get rid of this one. Can I get rid of it without deleting this box? Yeah. And the issue with today, guys, is we don't really have much news. So, oh, Yotti's here. Oh, he's actually watching, huh? So we don't really have Yotti. You have to pay attention, bro. Not be half asleep right now. So we have this 4 hour fair value gap again that I'm looking to get rebalanced, potentially take out sell side, and then we get the reversal. I think you're the only one watching this right now, Yotam. I just started streaming like 4 or 5 minutes ago, I think. Yeah, you have to. This is the way that you're gonna learn. You'll see me trading. This is a live account, Yotam. This is an eval account, but I'm gonna run this up to 53,000. Oh, he's wide awake, huh? So this is a new eval, Yoti. I just did this with the group a while ago, but we ran up a 50K account to 53,000, and I let them track it the whole time for the non-believers. But what I'm gonna do is take you can look at this serial code here, so you know that I'm not changing the account, and we're gonna run this up over the next probably month to 53K. And then once it becomes 53,000, then it becomes a funded account, and I can use it to make real money. So a lot of you may be looking at this 3-minute fair value gap, if there's even people watching yet, but this 3-minute is not as obvious to me as I'd like. What I'd rather see is this 3-minute be used as a regular fair value gap down to sell side, then get the reversal up to equal highs in midnight. Thanks, buddy. You're the goat, man. Also, you can see we're bouncing from 830, so the 830 level. Those are the three things that I use, guys. 830, midnight, and equal highs, and then obviously liquidity. But you can easily see bounces from these zones. It's possible that this 3-minute brings us up to this internal high. I just personally would not trade that. Yoti, if you're still here, did you see Tesla today? We had a big gap up to 342. So if you guys are looking to swing Tesla, I'll tell you right now, there's two different things that I'm looking at. This was the retest of the 313.80 high that I was calling for a long time. So either this could be the bounce that drives us higher to all-time highs, which is possible, but I think there's another scenario that people aren't really anticipating. There is a gap here on the daily chart that goes from, I'll draw it out from you guys right now, from 255.28 to 275 and 62 cents. So there is definitely a scenario where Tesla comes all the way back down to the 270 range, and that would be a great place, in my opinion, to start accumulating more longs for the move back up to all-time highs. So again, you don't have to wait for that, but if you want something that's much lower risk, because me and my group have been adding Tesla between like 175 and 220. That's what I've been calling for ads. So, we're heavily in profit right now, but for those that have not entered yet, this is a lot higher risk because we've already had this huge run. So ideally, if you wait for a retrace like we did on Friday, right, to this 313 to 309 area, that was a decent ad, but I think the better ad is going to be if we finally trade back down into this gap and fill it. Because not always, but a lot of the times these gaps get filled. If the stock is super bullish and it wants to continue running, it doesn't have to fill this gap, but this is going to be the optimal ad zone. But yeah. Okay, guys, so we're close to inversing this 3. Again, I'm not taking this. I don't think it's A+. We're not delivering from anything optimal. We are delivering from this 3-minute fair value gap, yes, and 830. But I think what will probably happen here is this high will get hit right here, and then we could easily get a reversal. So I'm not interested in trading that yet. If this 3-minute inverses, I think that's a little bit different. We could target this high and then these equal highs. Give me a second, guys. I have to figure this out. All right, so also there's been a trend, but I called this first. There's a lot of fair value gap traders, ICT traders that are starting to use blue light blocking glasses. Okay, I was the OG blue light blocking glasses person, so you can put all those rumors aside. You can ask your Tom, who's in the stream right now. I've been wearing these things since like 1998, and all these traders just started using these now. So I'm telling you right now, I was the OG blue light blocking glasses user. Okay, so it looks like we're pushing. We should now hit like I said, we should hit this high. It's possible, but I would wait for the 3-minute close to enter, which is in less than 20 seconds. All right, Yoti, I'll see you later, bro. Okay, so here's the issue, guys, here. We didn't close above this 3-minute gap, so I can't take this long. Even though we're probably going to hit this high, the risk is not worth it to me because we could easily reverse here. Let me look at the 5. Yeah, so the 5-2, I don't like this. Though it will probably still work. Yeah, though this will probably still work, I'm not necessarily interested in taking this long. I would rather see, again, my main objective here, guys, is to target the low of this daily fair value gap to get the long. We also have sell side liquidity resting right here. So personally, this is not for me. It might be for you, but not for me. Let me look at the hourly quick. I just want to see what we're doing here. So again, okay, so from the hourly, we are bouncing from this. So this is a relatively strong PD array right here. You can see that the body's held this hourly fair value gap. So this could easily be the long up to equal highs at midnight, but I really would prefer to see at least a sweep of this low and then the move higher. If you guys want to try this with small size, you can. I just think it's really high risk. But in theory, if we inverse this 5, we should target this set of equal highs and then midnight. And again, guys, for you that are just tuning in, this is a funded or an eval account that I'm trying to run up. I do have my last one that you guys saw me do live every single day that I brought up to 53K that is now funded. I'm going to do it again. And if you guys want to track this serial code, hopefully it doesn't, you guys can't use it to like hack or something. But it's an eval account, I don't give a shit. But you can track this and we're going to take this to 53,000. So again, just because it's an eval doesn't mean I'm clicking buttons whenever. I'm going to treat it like it's a funded account and we're going to do the lowest risk setups we can for the best reward. It's that simple. So it looks like now we officially inverse the 5 here. We do have buy side that we didn't sweep right here. We did sweep this buy side. So I think this is pretty risky. Again, this is not like my A+ model. It may potentially work, but it's not something that I'm going to take on either an eval or a funded. So far, there's no setup for me. Again, I would like to see this internal sell side get swept, and I would like to see this daily fair value gap get fully rebalanced. That is when I will be a lot more confident for longs. That's what I called in the Discord and on X yesterday. So let me look at the 1 minute quick and see what we're doing here. Yeah, so like to me, this looks kind of ugly. I did say that we are balancing from this 1 hour fair value gap, right? You see the bodies that are holding it. But to me, it's not optimal. So far, I'm not seeing anything that I would take personally. Wow, Bitcoin is absolutely going crazy. For those of you guys who are in Bitcoin, I want to show you guys a little trick. You might have seen this in my YouTube shorts, but because nobody really knows where Bitcoin's going to go, we're at all-time highs. What is really good to do is to take a Fibonacci tool. So if you're on TradingView, it's this right here, fib retracements, and draw a fib from the low to the high of the leg that just recently happened, and it'll extend out all of these Fibonacci retracement tools. If you don't use ICT, the 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, and 4.5 standard deviations are very strong magnets for price. Again, nobody knows where Bitcoin's going to go, but if you're looking for something to try and target new highs, these are good levels to watch for. The 1, the 1.5, the 2.5, 3.5. So yeah. Okay. So let's go back to NQ and see what's going on. So far it is holding on this 1 minute, but again, this is not something I would take. This is a pretty low volume day. It's a no news Monday. The only reason that I'm live right now, guys, is because I do expect to see some kind of a Judas swing down, induce shorts, and then get real longs, because November and December are typically, at least the middle of November to the whole of December, are typically bullish months for the stock market. So I'm expecting to see some kind of a reversal around these areas early this week or early next week. Also, a thing that the market makers love to do is to get people talking about crypto during Thanksgiving. If you guys didn't know that, so they'll have very bullish days and weeks coming up to Thanksgiving. So people start talking, and then people invest, and then later on they dump the markets. So just a heads up too that is a technique that they use. So far very slow. Again, nothing that I really like. Let me see if we made any. Did we make equal highs here, or did they take these out by a tick? Ooh, okay, this looks good, guys. So we did just form equal. Oh no, we didn't. We took them out by a tick. You see that? So I like to look for these equal highs, and you can see here we swept a high by 1 tick, and now we're reversing here. So personally, I would not be in this anymore. Even with this 5-minute fair value gap, it's not obvious enough for me to take a long here, because I think we could easily retrace back below this. Did we? No, I was looking for potential equal lows here, which we didn't get. Excuse me. Oh, but we did form, looks like we formed equal highs here, guys. Let me just double check here on the 3-minute. Nope. Close, but not quite there. They're relatively equal. So relative equal highs, I take less importance to. These will probably get swept eventually anyways, but equal highs typically get swept that same trading day. So that's why I take them into they're more important to me. On the 5-minute, it looks like we could potentially be coming down to trade into this 5-minute fair value gap. Maybe then we get the bounce. But again, nothing that I'm going to be taking personally just yet. Also, guys, a swing trade that I'm looking at, I don't know if you guys are following Disney, but I kind of missed this, but we did get this weekly inverse, which tells me that at minimum we're going to be going to this high at 116. I do think the final draw on liquidity for Disney is this 126 area. So I don't think this is a bad area to look for longs. Ideally, I'd like to see more of a retracement down here, maybe into the 109, 110 zone to get the long. But to me, it looks like this is potentially just going to rip here. So if you want something on Disney, it's a little bit higher risk because we did have this huge move already last week. You could try like a 1-to-1 trade here. right? So like if let's say you entered right here and delete this one, you can move your stop to break even when we hit this high and then target this high and then this high. But let's just say you're targeting this high, your 1-to-1 stop would be at your stop would be at $100.27. So it's higher risk, obviously, but if you want, you guys can try that. Okay, so NQ is still teetering. Let me look at ES and see what we're getting here. 5 minute. Wow. So on ES, also no SMT, we're making a higher high, just like we did on NQ. So nothing surprising there just yet. Again, what I would like to see here is probably a retracement down into this 5 minute, and then maybe the move higher, but nothing here that I would take personally on any accounts. ES actually looks better for a setup, I'm not gonna lie. We have this BPR here, we bounced out of this, and then we have this unbalanced 5 minute right here that could potentially be used as a target right below, I think this is midnight. Yeah, it's midnight. But I trade NQ, so I'm not gonna personally trade ES, but that's up to you guys if you want to. But so far, it looks like we're holding these areas. Again, there's nothing here that I'm gonna take. I do think this high is probably gonna be targeted here. But again, nothing here that's A+ to me, so I would have to wait. It's also a no news Monday. I was hoping to see bigger moves today, more volatility, and a drop down into the daily. We didn't get that, so the expectation is not being met. So I'm also wary and cautious about what I'm trading, because the last thing I want to do is try and enter a trade that isn't really fitting my plan or my expectation and then getting smoked, right? If what you want to see happen is not happening, take a step back and consider what you're doing. So we should target this high now. And it's about to hit, and boom. So there's that internal high. What'll probably come next is these equal highs, but again, I am not in it for this run. I think this is too high risk on a no news Monday when liquidity wasn't truly swept. Again, on the hourly, this is bullish. Obviously, we reacted from this very strongly. My guess is that these are going to hit next, but there's no setup for me to take here. Looking back at this 15, this was actually pretty good. We did inverse the 15, and then we traded back into it. We never closed below the 15, and then we had a huge bullish reaction. So yeah, this is telling me, I mean, we might get rejected from this 15 minute, but odds to me look likely that we're going to hit this high. But again, nothing that I personally would take, so. So we can draw this out so you guys can see it if you want. We also have midnight above, so here's what I will take, guys. If we get this 15-minute inverse and then we come down and get a 1 minute, I'll take that to the equal highs. How about that? But until we get something like that, I can't take anything. Woo. Okay, so we didn't even quite get to the top of the 15 and we're already rejecting here. Wow, Tesla's up 8% today, guys. That's wild. I wouldn't even be surprised to see a hit of this 364 level. We did technically hit this in after hours on Robinhood, but I don't count that. I look at the real chart, so wouldn't be surprised if we get a move up to this high and then maybe a rejection, but we have all this LRLR still that's been holding for years and years and years that I think eventually will get tapped. So let's see what happens with that, with Tesla. Let me look at the 5. So we did again sweep this high. So again, we could easily reverse here. Nothing that really stands out to me as something AAA plus. Okay. So we're also potentially forming a 1 minute OB here that we could use to drive us up to the equal highs. So keep that in mind too, guys. But man, these no news Mondays can be really painful. Again, guys, the only reason I'm trading today is because I was expecting to see a Judas swing down into the bottom of the daily fair value gap. But we didn't get that yet. I was expecting to see some kind of early longs today. And I mean, we technically are getting them, but I would have rather seen a trade down to the low of the daily, which we still could easily get, which is why I'm cautious about taking longs just anywhere here. But if you look at the 15, we did have a very nice trade into this fair value gap, which we held with the bodies of these candles, an inverse BPR, trade back down, and now we're probably going to hit these equal highs here, if I had to guess. But nothing on the lower time frames that I really, really liked. So if you guys really want to do something, you can try and scalp along up to these equal highs. But again, there's no setup for me. So how can I take something like that? And especially when I'm running up an eval account for you guys and I have to show you guys the balance. Again, this is the first day. Why would I be trading with dumb rules? Right? I want to be profitable on this account just like we were on the last one. And we drove that up from 50 to 53 in like 14 days or something. So I'm only going to take the best setups here. Also, we just took out this internal high that I called earlier, obviously. So we could easily reverse from here and then get a setup later on. A lot of people are very impatient and they just want to take trades, but what you have to realize is most of the time, the market is not just going to run up so easily. If we're long, it's typically going to make retracements, stop out longs, and then go higher. Now we are super low in this range, right? We're in discount of this range. In fact, I'll draw that out for you guys so you can see it. But from this low to this high, we're technically right now we're in discount, right? Anything above this 50% is premium. Anything below the 50% is discount. So technically in discount, your odds of being successful of a long are much higher, right? That discount level, the switch between premium and discount is right here at 20,674. So you still will probably be successful with your longs, but you still want to be able to have setups, because when you back test your data and forward test or whatever, your data for trades, you want to have a repeatable setup that you can look back at and say, okay, well at this point did it work? Did it not work? If you just click the button right here, you're just basically gambling, right? There's no setup here that's going to drive you higher. There's no setup you can look back at and say, okay, on November 18th at 10:22, I took this setup. You're not going to have that data. You're just going to have I had FOMO, so I clicked the button up to these highs. And that is never a repeatable, actionable setup that you can track, right? You guys need to understand that as a trader, you need data. If you don't have a repeatable setup that you can track with data over time, you'll never be successful because you won't know how profitable your model is. Okay, so please don't just click buttons to click buttons. Okay, so here's the push higher here. Again, we have a 15-minute fair value gap that we should close above here. If we do, guys, I think this is going to be a good setup long. I would prefer to see a retracement and maybe a 1 minute afterwards. We have 5 minutes until this 15-minute closes. So if it gives us the opportunity here, if it closes above without hitting this high, we will wait for retracement on the 1 minute and hopefully get a long. If not, there's no trade. But you see how now I have a setup here. We traded into this 15-minute fair value gap, bullish bounce, 15-minute IFEG, and then another 15-minute IFEG. This would be my long. Your stop would have to be, unfortunately, a close below the 15, so you have quite a big stop here. But you would take partial profits at these equal highs, and then I would hold runners up to at least, I mean, this high, obviously, I think is important. And then probably premium of the range, maybe this 15-minute fair value gap or this one. That's probably where we're headed if this is going to be a bullish day. Again, there's no news today, so I'm not as fond, but this can be a target. Okay, so we're just going to stay with our eyes peeled until the 4 minutes passes here. So at 7:30 Pacific time will be the close of this 15-minute fair value gap. So at 10:30 Eastern. If we get the close above here, that is my signal to look for longs up to these equal highs. Now, it looks like we might just push here without getting the entry. But if that's the case, it is what it is. I'm not trying to chase. We also have a high here. That could be a target. So just heads up. Or actually, it's not here, it's right here. But this looks very likely to hit, guys. We probably won't get a fill here, but that's okay. Three minutes until the close of this fair value gap. Okay, so we're about to hit that little buy side there. And just missed it. Hopefully we don't reject right here. Let's see. Okay. No, not yet. So technically right now it's forming equal highs, and now it just hit through them, and it hit the second set of equal highs. So fortunately we are not able to enter here, but that is the name of the game, guys. I will label these because I think we're probably going to go to these highs now. And midnight, obviously. Okay, so we got 1 minute until the 15-minute closes here. If it does, we can still take a setup up to these highs if you guys want. I would have preferred to take it to the equal highs, but we're still, again, probably going to go up to these highs. And probably beyond them. So there's the first set. Now we're going to look for these last two right here. And the crazy part about trading with NQ, I mean, this is a eval account, obviously, but just one move, just from here, you're looking at $210. So it's a pretty big move, but you have to realize that if we reverse, you're also going to get stopped on 210. So this is why I don't like to just scalp at random spots. Even though I think these are likely, I'm not going to take this personally. Okay, there's the internal high. And again, we're still in discount, so I'm assuming we're probably going to go up and hit this 50% level. Yeah, this is very bullish. Sucks that we didn't get an entry. I mean, technically this was an entry on the 5, but I didn't like it personally. But it is what it is, guys. Now, we have this 15-minute fair value gap and internal high that I think is probably going to be a target as well. But no setup yet to get to there either. Okay, guys, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get some coffee, and then we'll continue. Give me a second. Damn. Wow, so big push here. Yeah, guys, I think if I had to guess, and again, if we get a setup, I'll try it. But I think this 15-minute fair value gap here is going to be the target for the day. Because this is extremely bullish. We inverse this 15. We're about to inverse this 15 too. So maybe what we see here, this is what I'm going to expect, okay? What I probably would expect to see here is some kind of a consolidation within this 15 and then a push higher to end the day. Now, we are on QQQ. I know you guys can't see this, but I guess I'll just pull it up here. We are hitting a monthly level, which is a monthly high on QQQ, so we could get rejection here. I don't think we will. Maybe like a small consolidation down to this weekly level and then push to this quarterly level. This is a different concept that I've made up myself. I mean, everybody uses quarterly levels and weekly levels and monthly levels, or a lot of people do, but that's just something, a personal strategy that I've developed. Okay, so we're not about to inverse this. It closes at 10:45, so we've got a ways to go. But I think the draw here is going to be this 15-minute fair value gap. And from here, if we were to do a limit order, that is, wow, that's a $1,200 move. But if we retrace, then, a $1,200 stop here is going to take us down quite a lot. So you have to be careful here for sure. So I'm going to zoom back down to the 1 here and see if we get anything. I doubt we will. But just keep in mind here that we do have a monthly level that we just hit at 501.35 on QQQ, which tracks the Nasdaq, obviously. So we could get a small rejection here and then the move higher later on in the day. But again, guys, I do think that, again, if you're looking for longs, this 15-minute fair value gap, it's very small. It's not obvious. I think this is going to be the target for today. Again, we also have equal highs up here, so we could even push up there. I don't know, but this would be the primary objective for me, looking for longs now. Now that we've had this extremely bullish reaction, it tells me that price is likely to drive up to this fair value gap. Especially if we get this 15-minute inverse and then we get the long before targeting the 15 here, that would be great. I want to put my new week opening gaps up here as well, just in case. Just want to see if there's anything that I'm missing here. And we're bouncing from a new week opening gap, guys. And we have new week opening gaps above. So to me, this is very bullish. Yeah, so hopefully we get some kind of retracement, but it looks like it might just keep pushing higher here. Also, guys, we're about to head into this 1050 macro. So maybe we get a long setup in the macro. That's what I'm hoping for. So now we're getting that retracement at the monthly high. Hopefully we get a little bit more of a retracement than this. What would be really nice is to see a big stab down here, rebalance the 15, and then get an inverse 1 up to this high. That would be awesome. So that's an A+ setup in my eyes. So hopefully we get that. Me and Jack Daniels got a history. My sister came to visit yesterday and she loves this song. I don't know what it's called. It's like everybody in the bar getting tipsy. And she played it like 6 times in the car and now it's stuck in my head. Does anybody know that song is watching? Bob says yes, bro. Yeah, the song. I mean, I don't really like the song personally, but she loves it and she like plays it over and over. Okay, so we're getting a bounce off the top of the 15 here. This is that. So now we're technically in premium. So if we get back into discount and get the 1 minute fair value gap, that'll be a really good long. IMO. Everybody in the bar getting tipsy. Yeah, so if you guys are in Tesla right now, obviously everyone is killing it that added with us here. I'm up like 60% on my long-term portfolios, up like 12K on a swing. Disney, bruh, I kind of want to take this today, up to 116. Should I? It's really chasing, but I know with almost 100% certainty this high is going to hit at minimum. And I think that 126 is coming next. Let's take a look at gold quick. Gold had a really big retracement too. So if you guys are looking for long-term ads on gold, I don't think this is half bad. I was thinking about going to Dubai and buying some gold, like some gold chains, and then maybe reselling them later on. Because right now you're getting a pretty decent sale on gold. It'll be my first time going to Dubai too. Okay, so we just traded into this 3 minute. Excuse me. Well, I've been to Dubai technically. Oh, so we just traded into a 5 minute as well. So there's no real setups here for longs, but yeah, not great, guys. If we get into this 1 minute and then we get an inverse long, maybe, but for now, this is not a plus. So I've been to Dubai on just like in the airport, but never actually in the city. So that's the next goal for sure. And that's why I want to go and buy gold, because right now we're getting a discount. Okay, so a big reaction here from the 3 minute. We could also easily form an order block here to go higher, but that's not my model. Hopefully we get like another dump down here into this area and then we get the long. This could be an inducement candle to get traders long and then dump it and then go higher later. Crazy that Tesla's up 8% today. Everyone was like, oh, it's going down below 300 again. It's going down. Don't buy it. Don't buy. Looks like it might not be. Again, it could easily go to 270. I said that already, but I am not interested in trying to time that. Tesla's a long-term position for me. I don't trade it. I do swing trade it to go long, but I never try and short it or anticipate more downside, especially in this market environment now that EV credits are gone and Trump is in power and Elon is basically his like right-hand man now. And now they're also looking to hire someone for the Department of Transportation that is super bullish on robotaxis. So that's going to limit regulation a lot for Tesla, which is awesome. Okay, so it looks like we're already getting a bullish reaction, but no retracements yet. I would love to see this low get swept again, then to get a long later on, maybe in the macro time. Should we try a quick scalp? I'm expecting this low to get hit, but nah, I'm not going to take that, guys. I'm just kidding. Super risky. See, your mind likes to play tricks on you and try and take a trade that's not A plus. Just don't do it. Even though this is an eval account, again, I'm trying to run this up for you guys to 53, and I want you to track it. So remember this My Funded Futures account with the 9003 at the end. We're bringing this to 53K, and hopefully in the next 2 weeks, maybe more. Again, it's a little bit higher risk because we're trading with NQ contracts on a 50K account where the max drawdown is $2,500. But I'll only be trading with one contract, most likely. Maybe two if the setup is A plus. Yeah, guys, Disney's going to 116, whatever this high is, 116.94 today. I wish I would have taken the trade, but I didn't, so that's all right. You know, guys, I'm gonna try this scalp quick. I'm gonna move my stop to break even in a second if we get it. Otherwise, it's gonna be at this high. Or I'll put it at this high. How about that? What's up, Ninja Monkeys? That was a crazy run. It's probably going to continue. I'm just trying to take a little short scalp to here. Super tight stops, obviously. Were you in any longs, Ninja Monkeys, or no? Well, I would have wanted to see it here, honestly, but it is what it is. We could easily just continue higher here, guys. If it doesn't happen on this candle, then it probably won't happen. I would love to see it, but again, this is just a tiny scalp, so. If you guys were in any longs, I want to see where you guys took him, and I'll critique it for you, if it was good or not. Unfortunately not. I had a lot of targets mapped out, and I thought, and places I thought it would go. Yeah, so I thought we were going to get a little bit lower of a sweep into the daily fair value gap. I'll show you guys once this trade plays out, or it doesn't, but there's a daily fair value gap, but we barely missed it. We like missed the low by a few ticks, and I was expecting to see a Judas swing today. Now, maybe we get the Judas swing tomorrow, we come back down, and then we get like a optimal trade on Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know if it's going to happen, though. So, I'm a salaried overnight manager. Sometimes I don't get out of time. Don't get out on time and I can't trade. Yeah, bro, that sucks. But listen, bro, you have an income coming in, so that's super great. A lot of traders, I mean, most of them are really young, but they'll just kind of jump onto the charts and hope that they're going to make a living, which is wild to me. But yeah, it really helps to have an income. So props to you, bro. I was just probably going to get stopped out, guys, if I had to guess. But maybe we'll get lucky and we'll be able to get this $150. Oh no, I just do this as a hobby and the money is just nice. Yeah. Hopefully one day you can turn it from something beyond a hobby. because this is literally, it's a blessing to be able to do this from wherever. But again, you have to be able to take the pressure and the losses too. It's part of the game. You'll get there, bro. Just keep practicing and know when to manage risk. And you have to be able to, if you can't control yourself when you take losses, that's where people fuck up the most, in my opinion. Like, people don't follow the rules, and if they take 2 L's in a day, for me, if I ever take 2 losses in a day on a real account, I'm done. I'm gonna do the same for this eval because again, I'm gonna run this up to the 53,000 mark, but that's just me. That's amazing, bro. Keep that up and you're gonna go far. I know for sure. So maybe what I'll do here, guys, is move my stop up just a few ticks because there is a chance that we take out this high and then we go lower, but that's the max I'm gonna do. Now the other option is we'll probably go up and then go down. Again, this is a stupid scalp, but it is what it is. I accept the L. I'm hoping to get a stab down here. I still think it's very possible, but they could easily drive it higher first and then get the dump. We don't know yet. But we've already had a huge run this morning, so I'm expecting at least somewhat of a bigger retracement here. Hopefully down to the low of this 15, which you can see right here, which is also a 1 minute fair value gap. But we are also just entering this macro time, so this could also be where we just push higher. Again, my target is this 15-minute fair value gap, so I really shouldn't have shorted, but that's kind of like a little scalp. So you notice how we just missed this high and now we're rejecting, but again, I don't know what's going to happen here. This is a complete gamble scalp. In fact, what I'm going to do now, guys, just because of the nature of today, I'm going to move my stop to this high. I don't want to see it come back here. So now we're down $10. Okay, so an immediate bounce there. So that's okay. I want to move it to the high exactly. If this rejects you, that'll be so funny. Okay, so we got stopped out on that. Okay, so that's one trade on the eval for the day, guys. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this work now, but again, we are super bullish and we are now finally in premium of the range, but I would definitely expect us to go higher. So technically we did just get another 1 minute inverse, but this is so tiny I would never take it. I did catch a long during the London session though. Good, bro. Yeah, there was a pretty good London long. Where was it? Well, actually, was it Asia or London? Well, actually, technically, it was on Friday. That was a really good long in my opinion. But during the 250 macro price down to liquidity at the 15-minute fair value gap. Let's see. Shit, might be Asia. I don't know. During the 250 macro. For me, that's considered London. I use my Asia is from midnight to 6, or up until midnight, and then from midnight to 6 o'clock is my London session. But I think ICT does it differently. $250. So are you zooming into like a shorter time frame there? Okay, guys, so I think probably now we get the short. Should I try it one more time? I'm gonna try it one more time, guys. Stop will be at this high now. Again, guys, this is really, really kind of dumb, but I do think it'll work because a lot of people are long right now. Maybe it doesn't, but that's fine if it doesn't. God damn it. I do want to see a further retracement into this 15, guys. So that is why I think it's good. I would like to see this come down to the low of this 15-minute FVG. Shit, might be Asia, I don't know. Well, looks like I'm going to get stopped out on a second trade here. Okay, guys, I'm going to get out of this early. That's just a stupid scalp. I want to take actual A+ setups for this account. I don't want to tell you guys things that you shouldn't be doing. Even though it might work, again, we're looking for A+, and our target is going to be this 15-minute gap, so we're going to wait for something to get there. So the traded beta count is now down to 49.6. You see that? With 2 stupid trades. So hopefully we get the liquidity sweep down to here, guys, and then I want to see an A+ 1 minute IFEG to get up here. And that'll be a very nice trade. It'll be a pretty sizable trade too, over $1,000 win for one contract. So you can see that we are getting a dump here. Again, I'd like these lows to get hit and hopefully trade to the low of this 15. But again, because of the bullish nature of today, we don't have to go all the way down. So that's why it's risky to take those shorts. So this candle right here is what I'm looking at for a target. Again, there's no entry for the shorts here. Maybe there is in the 30-second, but I don't use that. But I do think this will sweep down to this low. Again, I canceled the order because I didn't want to be taking stupid trades, but technically this was a win. But again, so technically we have a win and a loss, but we actually don't. We have 2 losses because they were stupid trades. So again, guys, we're going to be extra patient here. Again, hopefully get a sweep into the low of this 15 and then get a nice inverse up to this 15-minute fair value gap. If we look at the 15 here, we did have a body close right at the high of the 15. So technically this is not bullish yet. We would need to see, so we have an 8 o'clock candle coming in 2 minutes. Hopefully we'll get a close above. If we don't though, this could be a rejection zone. Also, we have midnight right here at the low of the 15, so hopefully we come back down and retest midnight. That would be optimal too. So we did just sweep one internal low, so that's all we really need. If we're bullish today, all we would need is a sweep of this low to continue higher. But again, there's no setup for me to take longs there, so if that happens, I'll just have to watch it. And by the way, guys, I said this earlier in the stream, but you see these glasses? These are blue light blocking glasses. I've been wearing these. I stopped wearing them for some time, but for years and years. And now I see a few IFEG traders and ICT traders using blue light blocking glasses. Just know that I'm the OG. I've been wearing them before everybody else. If you look back at like my first few streams on YouTube, which was like 8 months ago, not even streams, like videos, because I didn't start streaming until a couple months ago, I think. But even in my early videos, you'll see me wearing these glasses. And now it's become a popular thing with like Sir Pickle, if you guys know who that is on X, and Dodgy's DD. But just know that I'm the OG. Man. Okay, so technically we did get a 1 minute here, right? This little fair value gap, but this is not optimal. Now, if we are truly ultra bullish today, then this will hold, it will respect, but not something I'm trying to predict. I'm going to guess we come down to this low. But if we hold this, that would be wild. Okay, so we're dumping there. Let's see what the profits would be on that. 135. But we're wicking, so. I would love to see a retracement here, guys. I really would, but just because of the nature of today and because my target is higher, I just can't. Oh, we got to close above on the 15, guys. So what I'm going to look for now is going to be a setup up to this 20,745 area. What is it? It's a tiny 15-minute fair value gap. So that is the reason that I'm looking for that. So hopefully, again, hopefully still we get a sweep down below this low and then we get the trade higher. That would be ideal. Dude, Tesla actually, whoa, 340. Oh, no. Yeah, 345. I thought it like pushed a lot higher for some reason. 345, that's really good. Pretty amazing. So technically we did inverse this one, which means that this high is next. But again, I wouldn't try and take that right now. And also, one thing I want to note here, guys, this is a bull flag. A lot of retailers are looking at this bull flag after we hit a huge range higher. So I would not be surprised. Maybe what we'll do here is go up and take this internal high and then get a dump to the low of the 15. That's also possible. So here's what I will take, okay? Even though we have a target higher, if we sweep this internal high and make an obvious 1 minute IFEG, I'll take that back down to this low. How about that, guys? That'll be my next short trade if we get one. So it would look something like this. So bull flag that all the retailers are like, oh, we're breaking out. They take it. And then we get a perfect IFEG here. I'll look for that to sweep this low and probably not take off here. I'd probably wait until like this low right here to take off all the trade. So if we get the IFEG here, in this zone right here, that is what I would look for. And I'll show you what it looks like too, if we get it. Again, we might not, so. And what is this level? This 20,657 was the Asia high. So I would look for that to be retested. It's right on the line of the new day opening gap low, the 15th. Low for the 15th, right? What, this black line? I don't really use new day opening gaps. I don't even know if I have them set on my... Do I? Yeah, I don't use new day opening gaps, but if I label it, where does it appear here? Know where price is trying to push to. I don't know. I don't use new day opening gaps. Isn't it like use like regular trading hours? The new day opening gap is here, guys. So it's lower. It pairs with a new week opening gap, but I don't use those. Again, so I'm going to take those off my chart. I don't care about new day opening gaps. Some people do, but I just don't. They've never really worked for me. So we almost hit the high and now we're rejecting. So we could easily reject here, guys. But I would prefer to see a push, a breakout, and then the reversal. That would be the optimal trade. Oh, last Friday's? Yeah, it could be. I don't really use previous new day opening gaps, only previous new week opening gaps. And right now we do have... Are they not showing? Oh, there we go. We have a new week opening gap right here, right below the equal highs that formed. This is midnight, if I'm not mistaken. A previous midnight, so there's a lot of different liquidity that I'm looking for on the upside. Now, we do have this hourly fair value gap that we could reject from, but I think that we're going to reject from this 15, if we're going to reject anywhere today. That's my target. So it looks like we're probably going to push up to high of day. Then ideally, if we get the IFEG set up here, I'll target it. But if we don't get that, then there'll be no short. And then again, our target for the day. Oops. Let me lock this in place so that we don't lose it. Who's calling me right now? Let me lock this in place so that we don't lose it. But this is going to be my target for today. It's the tiny 15-minute that a lot of people are not paying attention to. I love these small fair value gaps on the higher time frames. So like the 15 is a high time frame for the low time frame charts. So I like using that as a draw for liquidity. It also pairs with some new week opening gaps above and equal highs, so that's why I like it. Okay, so we just pushed high a day. Now we could easily get a retracement down. Again, I'd preferably like to see a nice 1 minute IFEG to have like a tiny intraday sell model to this low. But again, there's no setup right now to take anything, so. Okay, so I like this candle. I like these, like, when we hit high of day, I like to see strong propulsion candles that close with full bodies and leave fair value gaps. If we get that, that'll be a nice indication to me that it might be trying to induce traders long to then get an intraday short setup. Okay, so we're that's a pretty strong rejection so far. Very lack of displacement above the high. So that tells me that we may be going down, back down to these lows now. Again, there's no setup here, so I can't take it, but that is something that I'm noting. Wow, Bitcoin's almost back up to 92. That's wild. So the high, what was it, 90, almost 94, 93, 400. Yeah, guys, so what I might, this, it may sound crazy, but this might even be the low. Like this pocket that we formed earlier today might be the low for this year, November and December. If we really push here, it's easily possible that rest of November and December are very bullish. Again, I'm not trying to predict that, but I'm just saying it's very possible. I'd love to see a Judas down into the daily, to the low of the daily right here, and then get the real longs. Maybe later on in this week or early next week, but yeah. Let's look what ES is doing here. ES has already entered into that 15, I think. No, actually that 15 is up here for ES, or is it? Yeah. So ES hasn't yet reached that 15-minute either, so that's definitely an area it can target as well. Oh, 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 oh. Mm, 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 mm. Well, okay, guys, so if we get the IFEG, this is the A plus setup, but for now we don't have anything A plus, obviously. 94.5 or 49.5, I mean. Okay, so if we get the IFEG here, guys, that is the only short. I'll probably take it with 2 contracts, but we'll see. Now we could easily just keep pushing here up to the 15, like I said, but let's see what we get. We have to wait for this 1 minute candle to close. It's got 55 seconds left. But I do like to see these propulsion candles, like I said, because they could be inducements for shorts. But we'd have to see this IFEG form and then a close back below it. We got like 20 seconds left until the close. So I want to see this. I want to see a fair value gap be left. Which so far there is not. Maybe on the 30-second there was. That's definitely possible. Okay, guys, I'm going to try a short here. My stop again is going to be at the high. I think I'll move my take profit down here. Because we do have this tiny 1 minute short, but it's not A+, but I'm front running it. I think at minimum we're going to hit this low though. And once we do, I'm going to move my stop to break even on this trade. So we came close, but we're not quite there yet. Do want to see a nice dump here though. So again, once that low hits, the first low that you see there, I'm going to move this stop to break even. So technically we did just get that 1 minute inverse. Okay guys, my stop is back at break even here because we're super bullish. I don't want to risk getting stopped again. Okay, we got stopped on the short. It's probably still going to work, but I already took like 2 losses here. So 2 big losses. At this point, I have to protect the capital on this eval, so. But you guys see how I said I want to see a propulsion candle and then an inverse. This 1 minute is not as A+ as I'd like to see. So that's why I'm a little bit more hesitant to hold this trade with and move my stop to break even, but technically it's still valid. Okay, so what you want to see here if you're short is an immediate rejection from this fair value gap. If we don't get the immediate rejection, that is not a good sign for shorts. So already we're closing back above it, looks like. Let's see. Yeah, so we just got to close. Oh, did the body hold it? The body held it, so technically that's okay. But again, we're super bullish on the day. This is the target, so I would not be in this trade anymore. I would have, again, I moved my stop to break even when this low hit, and it saved me, so. Whew. Okay, so I like this reaction. Look how the bodies are holding this IFEG. So far, that's nice. Tells me we're probably going to get a sell model through all this liquidity here. Again, I'm not 100% confident on this, just because of the nature of today. And we did get that 15-minute inverse above, like you guys know. So technically, this is still bullish, guys. You'd have to be very careful with shorts here. Very, very careful. Pour me up another double shot of whiskey. But I'm still itching to see. I want a long, but there's nothing that's giving me a long here, sadly. So there's nothing I can do. We're stuck in the middle of a zone. Very tough. Disney went back down, so this might actually be a decent long. I want to look at let me look at the daily quick. So the optimal trade, guys, for Disney, and I'll post this in the Discord, if we get into this daily gap, just by a tick, so like a 108, that is where I would look for a long swing on Disney to 126. So I'm going to set an alert here, guys. I already have one there, so I'm going to set an alert for this 108.52 level. And if we get it, then I will alert the Discord to add longs for a long swing. Ooh, my riot position's pushing too. Sold puts on Tesla are up 71%. That is going to be a nice payday when I close those out on the 29th. I'll probably close them out a little earlier, maybe when we get to like a 90% profit, but regardless, that's going to be a really nice payday. Okay, guys, I'm taking a tiny scalp here to these lows. I'd like to see them hit. Because we're like in this kind of consolidation now, so all the longs have their stops below these. There's equal lows here, triple equal lows actually, it looks like, or almost triple. Or are they double equal lows? God damn, they're really not, they're not letting shorts get anything today. That's crazy. They just swept this low by one tick. Damn, guys. What a terrible day. Terrible day for scalping. Right now, if I was to limit order a buy, which I would never do here, we have an $800 long. So that would, if I was to take this now and it was successful, then that would obviously mitigate all the losses for today. But I can't do that, unfortunately. I cannot do that, unfortunately. Someone pour me up another shot of whiskey. It's probably going to go down to this low now, but I can't take it. Cannot take it, guys. Been being an idiot with scalps today. And again, even though this is just an eval account, did not trade this well today. You see how we're like not even taking out any lows? Like on a typical day, this bullish candle would take out internal highs, and then we would sweep down and take this low. So this tells me that we're just so bullish that we're not allowing down moves. It's crazy. Like all this low resistance liquidity should get taken. I just don't know when, and there's no optimal setups. This was optimal, but you see how it like didn't even take out this low, which is wild. This normally would be an A+ setup. So yeah, just tells me that we're probably just going to continue higher here. If we look at the hourly chart, we technically are in, yeah, I mean, this just be continuation. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. Okay, so decent rejection there. So maybe now we get the rejection down. But I've been stopped out too many times on shorts to be taking anything else, guys. Gotta protect this eval account if I want to bring it back up to 53, right? So the only hope we have left for a setup today, guys, is a sweep of liquidity down here, something in this general area, hopefully this one. And then we get a long setup up to the 15-minute fair value gap. That's the only other setup I'll take here. Oh, it looks so tempting to short to the body of this low, but I can't. I'm telling you guys, this is gonna hit, but all right, I'm gonna try it, guys. And I didn't even get the fill, so it worked. Finally, one of the shorts worked, but I didn't get the fill even, so I think most of these are gonna get swept now, if I had to guess. Was it a 2-minute IFEG? Oh, no. I mean, that's too small for me. I don't like that. Well, that's all right. So I want to see rejection from this 1 minute. Bruh. Okay, I'm going to play a sound right now. Wow, this has been the lamest stream I think I've ever done. Literally so lame. Pretty sure on your evals you can't lose more than 1,000 a day, right? So obviously, guys, we had this. This is like a distribution leg, obviously, and now we're getting the consolidation phase. So a lot of people are getting stopped out, longs and shorts. I do still want all this LRR to get hit, but again, we've taken some shorts today and we got stopped out on most of them. This is what I'm talking about with like the danger of like 1,000 paper cuts. Like even though they're just $100 losses, it adds up like crazy. So you have to be so careful. Yeah, guys, this looks like it's just going to keep running. It really does. But nothing I can take now. The only thing I was looking for was short scalps. But it's not giving any leeway. It keeps running higher. So brutal. The other thing we can hope for is to get some kind of a manipulation down and then an IFEG in this macro time at 11:50. Technically, we do have a 1 minute right here that is reacting bullishly. But I just can't take that, guys. Can't take it long. So my guess is that within this macro time in the next 11:50 to 12:10, I think this 15-minute is going to hit. Probably now, but again, guys, we're too high to take longs here. We've already gotten stopped out on multiple short scalps. And yeah, so this eval is almost at max drawdown for the day. And we're not just going to take one more just to take one more. Again, it's just an eval, guys, but I did want to drive this up to 53 with you guys, and I think I still will, but it was a very stupid, these are very stupid times to try and take short scalps, as you can see. Because even if I wanted to take a long here, if we get drawdown, I'll get stopped out for the max loss on the day, so not smart. And again, guys, there's a reason that I didn't trade with my funded or my cash accounts today, only eval. I do have my funded up here on the side, but I can't take trades on a funded account or a cash account on no news days. Even if I believe it's going to be a great reversal, I just can't do it. Let me see the 5-minute quick. So the 5-minute high, again, guys, I'm going to draw it out. You can see it's right at the fair value gap high, or fair value gap low, but that is the target for today that I've been calling out since this morning. Again, why was I taking short scalps? when that was a draw. Some people would say that that's stupid, and obviously in today's case it was, but a lot of the times, guys, we will hit this low, and we might even still do it. But again, I lost too many times trying to short scalp. This 2-minute inverse actually doesn't look half bad, but I can't take this anymore. I really can't. It's like every single bearish PD array, bullish PD array we react from today, which just shows me that the buy model is strong. Now there is a chance again that we inverse this too, but it's not A plus. It's kind of small. The draw on liquidity is higher. It's just not smart in my opinion to be doing, and I shouldn't have been doing it. Again, but it is an eval, but still, I want to draw this eval up with you guys, so I shouldn't have taken those trades, but that's okay. Let me see, look at the 3-minute quick. 3-minute, there's no inverse. 4, 5-minute, there's no inverse. It's only the 2 that we have right here. Okay, but it's so small, guys, that this doesn't look like a good IFEG to me. And again, the draw of liquidity is higher, so I'm not going to take this at this point. And this doesn't even close for another minute. So this could be even more inducements for shorts. Maybe, maybe not. But again, can't take this now. And it looks like we're not even going to close below it. Yeah, so we're holding the 2-minute bullish fair value gap again. Ten seconds left until the close. Man. I think we're just going to have to watch a slow grind up to that 15-minute FVG. With a few hiccups in the road, maybe a couple of red candles, and then it's just going to continue higher. But Okay, so this looks like it's potentially going to be the second PD array, bullish PD array that's going to get violated. Maybe. We've got 20 seconds left until the close. Okay. Okay, so this finally looks like it's going to be the short. But again, it's not an obvious enough 2-minute for me to take, but still looks like a lot of longs might get swept here. So there's the first internal low that just got swept. Let me look at the 1 minute here. Maybe there's a good 1 minute. Okay, guys. So this is a setup I'm going to take. Okay. Hopefully we get a lot more liquidity to get swept. So like all of these sets of lows. And if we do, and then we get an inverse 1, then this is going to be a setup I'll take on I'm going to take this on my eval. But if you guys want, I would take this on a funded account too. I just am not going to today because my rules don't allow me to. But if your rules do, I don't think this is bad at all. Wait for the sweep of liquidity. So in this case, we did get a sweep right there. I prefer to see more get swept, ideally. But if we get a strong 1 minute here in the macro time, I think that this high is going to get targeted. So again, guys, I would take this on a funded. Again, I'm not, because personally, I don't trade funded accounts or cash accounts on no red folder news days. But I will take this on an eval for sure. And if it wasn't a no red folder news, I would take this on a funded. But we need to see, hopefully, a sweep of a lot of this liquidity. And then we get the long setup later on. Maybe we even go back down to this low that I've been looking for. But, yeah. Not banking on it. Everybody in a club getting tipsy. Is anybody going to take this long? I don't know who's watching still, but... Alright, is anyone going to take this on an eval or a funded account? Again, I explained to you guys why I'm not going to take it on a funded. But, up to you guys. Wow, finally we're getting the dump. all those trades I got stopped out on, I could have just waited. But again, there was no setup, so... I mean, technically I told you guys this 2 minute did work, but... not obvious enough for me. Oh... So, I wouldn't be surprised if we come all the way down to this low that I've been targeting the whole time. But it's too late to take it now. If we get this 1 minute inverse, guys, I will take this again on this eval account. And I would take it any other day on a funded if it was not a no red folder news day. Okay, so another thing, guys. So actually, this is actually not half bad. So taking this 1 minute inverse, and I would move my stop to break even when we hit this 1 minute inverse. And then try and target new high of day. I don't think that's bad. If we get, especially if we get this liquidity sweep and then an immediate bullish reaction, this is not bad either. Give me 1 sec, guys. Hi, Lulu. Come on. Come on in. Sorry, that was my dog. All right, so we just got the sweep that I've been targeting all morning. So unfortunate that we didn't get a setup to it. My dog's bothering me. She's back. She was gone for the weekend, and now she's back, so might have to let her out. But guys, again, if we get this 1 minute inverse, I think this is A+. After sweeping this liquidity, hopefully we get an immediate bullish reaction here. And that's what I would target for a new high of day, and then this 15-minute fair value gap. Come on, Lou. Go back up on the couch here. Come on the couch. Man, if I just would have known to take this 2 minute, shoulda, coulda, woulda, huh? This tiny little 2 minute fair value gap ended up being where the longs, where the shorts happened. Oh my goodness. What do you want, Lulu? Okay, so far a pretty bullish reaction out of the, is this a 5 minute FEG? Yes, and we came close to the low of the 15. So far a decent reaction. And if you guys look at market structure now, for example, on the 15 minute, we are, again, we're probably going to trade into this 15 here. So I'm actually going to delete this one. No, I'll keep it. But this could be where we get a long setup for the remainder of the day up to this high. So keep an eye out on this 15-minute fair value gap. And the mean threshold of it is 20,624. So something in this general area should give us a good long, in my opinion. Could be wrong again, but that's what I'm thinking right now. And right now, this is going to give us a much better R setup too. So I'm thinking like somewhere in this general area, if we're going to get the long, is going to be here. Somewhere in here. Maybe like the body of this candle's low. The low body of this candle, so somewhere around 20,644. We could potentially get the long. Is anybody else looking for longs here? Or are you all just signal bots looking for my advice? We're in a macro time now too, guys. Trading into discount of the current range. So if we get a long reversal, it's going to be somewhere here. We also just touched midnight. Look at that to the tick, and we're bouncing. So this is where I was expecting to get the long earlier. And it was also my short target, but unfortunately I got stopped out in this garbage. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. I'm going to pull up my Discord here. Just want to check something out. Okay, so I'm expecting to see if we're going to get a long. I'm expecting it somewhere in this area. like I said, the body of this candle is 264425. So maybe it happens here. The real entry though, guys, would be if we get a 1 minute inverse above this, then you could take the longs. And it'll probably happen after lunch if I had to guess. But I'm expecting a potential low to be set maybe at 644. Again, I'm not just going to blindly long that, but there's potential for this to be the low. And again, if I'm wrong, then we're obviously going to smoke it and we're going to continue down further to the mean threshold of this fair value gap. So again, I would never long that blindly, but I'm just saying that that's a potential area. Okay, so pretty decent bullish reaction here, but no setup forming. Okay, so pretty bullish reaction from this 15-minute and 5. No setup. But again, if we get to this 1 minute fair value gap and inverse it, I think you can target the secondary 1 minute and leave runners to this high that I talked about earlier. I don't know if we're going to get it today, but we'll see. Ooh, Elon just posted, what was that? Tesla Robovan is in development. Oh, yeah, we know about that. Some other things too, crazy. Okay, guys, so no long setup yet, but I think there may be one coming today. Technically, you could enter here with a stop loss below the 15, but to me, that's way too big of a stop. So I won't be doing that personally, but I'm waiting for this 1 minute IFEG setup. Also, this 2 minute doesn't look half bad too, guys. If you want a lower risk entry, you can wait for this 2 minute close and then take a long. Let me look at the 3. Let me look at the 5. If you want something that's a little bit lower risk, you can wait for this 5 minute close. We also have a pretty decent looking 3 right here. It's not A+, but we haven't gotten the close yet. It's really small. But I would, if I were like super risk averse, I would wait for the 5. And I wouldn't take the 5 unless we never hit this high again. Right? So I would wait for a 5 minute close, and I also wouldn't want to see this high have been hit yet. Yeah, so I actually really like the look of this 5. And right now, this 5 is a 6-to-1 RR trade, which is pretty darn good. And again, your stop would be moved to break even after this 5 minute high hits. this 1 minute also could potentially be really nice. Let's say we sweep this low, trade into the 50% of this 15 minute, and then get the move higher. This looks really nice too. So guys, again, if we sweep this liquidity, okay, we're trading into a 15-minute fair value gap at the same time, bullish. I think that will be a really nice long with a 1 minute inverse here. Hopefully it holds. We got 45. Yeah, it's not going to hold. Let's look at the 2. So maybe the 2 minute will give it to us. I'll be right back, but keep an eye out on this 2 minute fair value gap. Okay. So I'll tell you guys right now, this looks really good. Okay. Stop to break even would be at this internal high, or take profit if you want. I would move my stop to break even here, and I would let it run. So what I want to see here is a sweep of this liquidity and then a very bullish reaction above this 2 minute close. If we get that, I will take it on my eval. And if it wasn't a known use day, I would take it on a funded as well. So hopefully we get this sweep here, then a bullish reaction. We don't have to get the sweep because we're trading into a 50-minute FVG, but I'd like to see this sweep. If it sweeps, it'll be even better. And this trade is even crazier than a 6-to-1. It's a 7.26 to 1. So this looks really good, guys. I am not gonna lie. Now it is lunchtime, so it's not optimal, but on a day like today, I wouldn't be surprised if it works. So I will take this, guys, if we get it. Okay, very nice reaction so far. Who's in this, guys? Or who is going to be in this? Very nice reaction. I want to see a close above this. If we do, I'm going to take the long. We've got little whiles until the high gets hit. We got the 2 minute hasn't closed yet. There is a 1 minute as well. If you guys are impatient, you can take the 1, which should close any second now. Well, they're both going to close any second now, but hopefully we get the 1 and the 2 to close at the same time. So far, rejection though. So again, guys, if we get the sweep first, it'll be way better, but we don't have to because we are trading back into this 50-minute FVG. And if you look at the 1-minute chart, right, this is the fair value gap. So they're actually at the same point, the 1 and the 2. Let me look at the 3. Yeah, nothing on the 3. So the 2 and the 1 are what I'm looking at here. Let me just pull up the hourly and see where the new week opening gaps. They're lower than us. Yeah, so this would be awesome if we could trade into this 1 hour and then get the push higher. Doesn't have to be. Okay, so this looks really good, guys. Even on the woman, this looks fantastic. Okay, guys, I am going to try this if we get the 1-minute close. Okay, we did not get it. Look how we rejected, guys. That's why you have to be patient. Damn, are we going to miss this trade? Let's see if we get the 2-minute, it'll be even nicer. So at 9:14, hopefully praying that it closes around here. We want the 2-minute close, but we don't want it to push all the way up to this internal high. Come on, just give it to us. 30 seconds left. Let's not hit this high. As long as you don't hit this high, guys, this trade is A+. Again, I repeat, as long as we do not hit this high, this trade is A+. But we need to see the 2-minute close above. Wow. Come on. And, all right, guys, I'm in this. Stop is going to be a close back below. So for the 2-minute, and my break even is going to be once we hit this high. Now we might get stopped out on this trade because of the max loss on this eval account, but let's pray that we don't. Hopefully we get the long. Hopefully it goes up before it goes down so I don't get stopped out, because I only have like $100 left on this account. Which is why I should probably sell at this high just to get the account back to a little bit of positive. Yeah, guys, I might have to sell, unfortunately, at this high to get the account back to a little bit of a higher value. But I think it'll go a lot higher than that. Please don't stop me out on this trade. Guys, I might get through $1,000 loss here. Somehow it didn't stop me, which I'm happy about so far, but again, the hard stop is going to be a 2-minute close back below the inverse fair value gap. How am I still alive? How is it not giving me the $1,000 loss on the day? Okay, so this should hold in this area. Again, I want to see this internal high get swept now. This might be a 2-minute order block too. So I am so surprised that it didn't stop me out on this funded futures account. Because I thought the max loss was 1,000 for the day, but I guess for whatever reason it didn't. Damn. All right, that was the official stop out for the day. So it was a little bit less. It was more than $1,000 for me, but man, that should have worked. I don't know why that failed. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna end the stream there. That is really unfortunate. This to me was A plus. We should have at minimum hit this high, and we didn't. Don't know what to say about that. That's just really sucky. So yeah, guys, I am done for the day. I wish you guys the best of luck with your trading. And we'll be back tomorrow. That was just really shitty. So